General Lowe has pointed out, I'm John McNeil. I command the 351st CA Command located in Mountain View, California. Our area of responsibility is PACOM. And in fact, we have 2 theaters, which includes the Korean Theater of Operations. Can you all hear me now? Yes, sir. Thanks to Verizon. Every slide presentation has to have a purpose. Obviously, the purpose here is to give you some insight into the support that we provide the combatant commander. As you can see, we present, what we'll do is show you some things that we do. Now that you see my presentation, here's what my guidance has been to the command. Challenge.
That's a good time to answer if there's any questions.
This is our training priorities for the theater. The first training, as Jeff has said, unfortunately, most of our support over the last 6 or 7 years, while we still maintain responsibility to support the combatant commander, most of our support has gone to CENTCOM. Our first priority is training related to the war on terror. That typically, for our folks, is soldier survivability skills. We're also trying to increase the number of planners that we are trying to develop so that they can move on to the operational and strategic level. I think, as General Morris pointed out, we have, I think everybody's well aware that we're outstanding. We do have some issues at the senior level, both at the operational and the strategic. And hopefully, as we get more planners developed and pass them along, this will improve. I don't believe that, you can see that from number 2 and 3, while we are trying to do more joint training, it's been proven difficult. I think, though, with the MCAG and the CAG developing, hopefully we'll be able to do more training from that capacity. Also, we work closely in the Korean Theater of Operation with the ROCs. Guidance. While we are preparing to go to war constantly, we still need to maintain our presence in both PACOM and the KTO, the Korean Theater. That includes planning and executing training objectives and scenarios that will advance our J-Metal proficiency. More commander's guidance. CQNC is Commander-in-Chief of UN Command. CFC is Combined Forces Command in Korea. USFK is obviously U.S. Forces Korea. For those who don't know, the 351st responsibility on the Korean Peninsula is we only have responsibility north of the MDL, which means until ROC forces or UN forces or U.S. forces across the MDL north, the primary responsibility in the south is 8th Army and the rocks. We have no CMO or CA responsibility south of the MDL. So when we do our exercises, it's primarily aimed at what we would support the rocks when we cross the MDL. Here's the PACOM exercise calendar. This is a joint exercise program. If you can see the designation where the KPOC patch is, those are exercises that we have for FY08 that we will support. Top Off, which is a national level exercise with Homeland Security, we'll provide 2 planners to that. Eternal Fury is 5 planners. PK is Balkatan, down at the bottom there, that's the Philippines. Cobra Gold is in Thailand, where we provide 2 planners. UFG is Okai Freedom Guardian, which replaces UFL, which is typically the biggest Korean exercise they have on an annual basis. We usually provide anywhere from 50 to 60 packs for UFL. Because of the commitment we have to CENTCOM in the coming year, we're going to cut that back probably to 20. KR, or Key Reserve, that replaces the RSO exercise in Korea. Normally we provide 40 or 50 to that, and this time around we'll only provide 30 to 35, mostly planners and OICs and LNOs. What this doesn't show, as Jeff has pointed out, is the planning and training for the deployment. While the 353rd is in the box of getting ready to deploy now, I have the next rotation after them. We in fact are already planning on the next training requirements that we have. One of my battalions will in fact be deploying as early as in June. One may go as early as February or March. So as you can see, we're just finding these dates out that not only do we have to maintain or support to the combatant commander, but we're also constantly planning for the next rotation. Next slide, please. This is 09. I've been in command for 43 months. During that time, the 351st has deployed once during that 43 months, and as I said, we're getting ready to go again. My guidance to my commanders is that while we will provide a rotation, we must still maintain the connectivity and the connections with the combatant commander. As all of you, I'm sure, well aware, that's exceedingly difficult when you're mobilizing anywhere from 500 to 1,000 people to maintain the exercise level that you've done in the past. One of the key things, next slide, is that we found out is that we have to manage expectation with the theater. If any of you have been following it or not, but USFK and CFC, our role in Korea is downsizing rapidly. And over the next several years, our role there will dwindle somewhat, at least from the maneuver unit. The ROCs are being encouraged by General Bell to take a much more active role in both the planning and the execution of the fight. Therefore, our role is being somewhat diminished, which of course we're pushing hard to try and do. We want the ROCs to take more of an active role. Right now, I normally maintain 3 to 4 people on 179 or 365-day tours in Korea. I have a Korea planning team. I also have a PACOM team. I usually maintain anywhere from 2 to 3 people in Hawaii on a constant basis as well. Next slide. The MPAT is a cadre of military planners that gives us the opportunity to get into countries that normally we may not have access to. It is a multinational plan. It typically involves planning for non-combat